All right, here's a question where we're asked to find the cube root of an expression. If you're looking for the cube root, what you're basically looking for is the same thing multiplied by itself 3 times, or 3 identical factors inside that you can bring one out. Let me sort of explain. Like if I have the square root of 4, you know that's 2. Well, 4 is really the square root of 2 squared. And so square and square root are opposite, so these two cancel, leaving me with my answer just as 2. Another way to look at it is you could say, well, 4 is the same as 2 times 2. And if you're dealing with a square root, then you're looking for 2 identical factors inside. And if you have 2 identical factors inside, you can bring one out of the radical. And in this case, you won't be left with anything inside, so you'd bring one of those factors out, and then there's nothing left in the radical. So let's turn our attention to this question. So cube root means I'm looking for cubes of things. So let's deal with that x first. It doesn't matter, but x cubed is like x cubed, right? So according to the product rule of radicals, I can rewrite this as the cube root of negative 729 times by the cube root of x cubed. Similar to what I did here, a square root and a square cancel each other. A cube and a cube cancel each other. So that'll just come out to be a plain old x. But now let's look for things that we can multiply to give 729. With squares, they're fairly easy. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared, 7 squared. And if you keep your eye on those numbers, when we're dealing with radicals, they often pop their head up. With cubes, same thing. 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed, 27, 4 cubed, 64, 5 cubed, 125. I'm slowing down. 6 cubed, I think 216. 7 cubed, I don't know. 8 cubed, is that 256? No. 8 cubed, 512, I think. And 9 cubed, I believe, is 729. And that's our number that we have here. So that's the same thing as the cube root of negative 9 cubed. So the cubes cancel out, so my answer will just be negative 9x. Now another way you could have looked at that is you could have started to break it down. I'll just rewrite it down below here. So I could have said, well, I'm looking for the cube root of negative 729x cubed. And some people like actually rewriting so that they have all the factors written out. So 729, you might be able to see that that's 81 times 9. And x cubed is xxx. So 3x is inside. I'll be able to bring one out. But I also know that negative 81 is negative 9 times. Now here the negatives are messing me up a little bit. But I need to get negative 729 out of the whole thing. So all of them, and I want them all to be the same, identical, all of them have to be negative 9. Negative times negative is positive times negative, yeah, it's negative. And then you have your 3 x's. So these are identical, so I can bring one out. And then these cancel out. And then these are identical, I can bring one out, and these cancel out. So my answer is negative 9x. So whichever way sort of makes sense for you to simplify that, that will work. This is sort of the mathematical way. That's probably how I would figure it out, but this works too.